Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Trophy Chase.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to the Trophy.
What are you drinking over there?
This is Mountain Valley sparkling water. It's so sparkly that if you pop a Smartie in your mouth, your head would explode.
Is that our new sponsorship?
Yes. Yes, guys. We are.
Sounded like it was.
This is an endorsement. We are getting exactly 1 penny per show. Mountain Springs Valley Water, official sponsor of the Trophy Chasers podcast. Continue.
Can we see it?
Fliptriq. Oh, you didn't see it? Sorry. Here you go.
Get it
You
all the
might
way in the
want to
box.
like put it on camera instead of off this. Oh, there you go. You might want to lick the bottle now.
Just pull a Jessica Chobot.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay.
No, you can keep going. Just.
Alright. Anyway, welcome to episode 24. Sponsored by what was that?
Mountain Valley sparkling water.
Alright.
Without Smarties.
Without Smarties.
So this week we got the season finale of The Wolf Among Us, season 1. So we'll be talking about that. We'll talk about it like briefly in the middle of the show, which is when we talk about games played. But then we'll do like a 20-minute spoiler cast afterwards. It'll still be part of this episode. I'm not gonna stop it or separate the videos. It's gonna be like one seamless thing, but we'll be transitioning into that after we wrap up the original show. So, how you both doing?
Doing good, man. I'm happy to be here on this official Miley Cyrus Day of Trophy Chasers podcast. What about you,
week.
Alex?
That was last week.
Oh, that was okay.
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
Sorry, guys.
Just bored of Terraria. You know.
Bored of Terraria. That's a new game, everyone.
Well, it's because right now I'm just doing like preparation for like my hard mode playthrough, and it's like I have to be ready because I don't want to.
You have to play that game twice?
I believe because there's not like a trophy for beating it on hard mode or anything, but there's bosses that you have to beat in hard mode in order to, And some things only appear in hard mode, and you need to get these things in order to get certain trophies. Yeah, so.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, nightmare mode.
Well, when you're playing alone, if you're playing with friends, it's pretty fun.
I don't know if we went here, guys, but I'll say this one more time for the record in 5 seconds. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I asked Alex if he wants me to play Terraria with him, and he said, "Hell no." So that's why. We're both doing great.
Making preparations is boring. I'm sure when I actually get into the hard mode, I'm going to be eating my words.
Yeah.
There's a lot there. So.
Awesome.
What else have you been playing?
Well, the Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Revolution demo still.
Oh my goodness. So I have not downloaded that. I have to play that tonight. I am doing that right after the show. I've been playing Tukiden, which is the game that I said I was going to platinum probably 7 months ago. That never happened. It's a Vita game, and I've also been playing Sly Thieves in Time. And I got about maybe an hour to get the double plat for that, so I'm looking forward to that. That game gets incredibly tedious when you have to collect all the bottles and solve all the problems. I wish that
classic Sly Cooper, man.
Yeah, but you know what? They put a spin into it. The whole, beating every level of the arcade mode, and it's just the tediousness. And it just doesn't. Mode? Well, each hideout within each of the 5 chapters has a broken down arcade that doesn't get unlocked until you get all of the treasures within the level. And of course, you can't get all the treasures in the level until you get all the bottles, because there's a safe that has another treasure in there that unlocks it. But once you have all that information, the arcade gets fixed. And once the arcade's fixed, you have to have the top score in the arcade, and you have to find the hidden mask in the arcade game. And all those are components that are necessary for getting the plat. It's just the little tiny things that becomes tremendously boring, and I feel like I need to.
Is it like a retro arcade game, like in Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time, or is it just like replaying the level?
No, they're classic. They're either classic shooters, not rail shooters, but kind of glide, left stick, right stick analog shooter games, or
twin stick shooter.
Twin stick shooter. Thank you, man.
A
Awesome.
glide.
I love those things.
I don't know what to call that
It's a
thing.
game.
There's also a motion 6-axis control game, which sucks.
That sounds like that's the best one.
That's the worst one. And then there's another type of vehicle. What did you call it? Dual stick shooters?
Twin stick.
Twin stick shooters? Yeah.
That's what the cool
So
kids
anyway.
call it.
Guess I'm not cool, man.
That's not.
Gosh. Anyway, so those suck. But when I'm finished with the game, I'll be incredibly happy. So.
Yeah. Cool. Looks like you have
And-
some mutual hatred for the game.
This is our secret weapon.
And
I
there's-
know what it's capable of.
What's happening?
What's
Who's
the
gonna drive it? I am.
Make it stop.
secret weapon?
What is this?
I don't know what it's capable of.
It's not me.
That is you.
Ford truck.
I don't know what it is, guys.
Summer Spectacular sales event. Get an F-150 with 0 for 60 plus 750 trade assist cash. Or get up to
That's
7,500
amazing.
total savings.
And it's gone. That's our second
Oh.
sponsor.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. Thanks for the word from our second sponsor.
Anyway, so ABC also hates the game, and so I really hope they make it less tedious. But anyway, the good news, everybody, is that it's a double plat. So I'll get the plat for the PS3, and then I can sync to the cloud, and I'll get the plat for the beta version of the game as well.
See, so the time's kind of worth it.
Yeah, you know what? There it is, man. Double the pain, double the pleasure. It's just like double mint gum.
I don't think that's their slogan.
That was a bad joke.
Temple the pain.
What?
What?
Double the pain. What about you, Fliptriq? What you been playing, man?
What have I been playing? Lots of Final Fantasy 14. I still can't get off that. I'm getting the platinum. I did some math because like the trophy guide says it takes 600 plus hours in order to get
Brought
the
out my
platinum.
calculator. I did some complex algorithms. I've determined that
Not
I'm going
that
to finish
serious.
this game in exactly 49
That's the
days.
point where I stopped going for platinum.
Anyway, are your jokes
Oh.
done? Are your jokes done?
I'm done.
McKinson.
The trophy guide said 600 plus hours, but that was tied to a specific trophy where you had to clear the raid. In order to clear the raid, you had to get geared for the raid, and that took a certain number of weeks. Now, the only trophy that's really time-consuming, aside from all of the leveling and stuff you have to do, is you have to do 1,000. They're called Lev quests, Lev quests. You have to do 1,000 of those. You can only do 3 every 12 hours, so it would take I think 116 days to get the platinum for that. So,
On track.
If you played every day.
No, but you're on track for it. I mean, you've been crushing it, right?
I've been at it for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yep. Got my FanFest ticket.
Yes, congratulations. That was like you were
That was rough.
probably 30 seconds away.
The skin of my teeth.
Yeah, literally.
I had 1,800 tickets, and they sold out in, I think, 15 minutes. It was ridiculous. But that is October 17th to 19th, so right in the middle of all this chaos, all this video game chaos, I'll be in Vegas for the weekend. Hanging out with the Final Fantasy kids. That sounds fun.
You'll be one of them, man.
Buster Sword and all this.
So I'm gonna miss Battlefield, and Evolve, and Fantasia, and Just Dance, and Evil Within. I won't miss it, but I won't.
You will miss. I think you will miss Battlefield and Evolve.
Well, they come out on the 21st, and I think that'll be the day I come home. So,
Okay. All right.
But the only game I really care about out of all of those is the Evil Within, so it should be okay.
I'm not. I don't care about that.
I might
game.
have to stop early in Borderlands, the pre-sequel. But in order for that to happen, I need to play Borderlands 1 and 2. But in order to play Borderlands 2, I need somebody to play Borderlands 2 with me.
Well, he'll ask you at 3 in the morning.
And I'll be ready
What?
to go.
Yeah,
That's
alright.
usually like my prime game time.
Oh, really? Prime
Yeah,
game?
I'm kind of a night owl. I have a backwards clock. It's really
See that.
awkward. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's strange.
See,
Flip
you
Trip
say
has
night owl,
amazing,
just think
amazing
bullshit.
powers, superpowers, where he can be fully recharged in 3 hours.
Kind of a robot. I also played more Warframe. Actually, both Warframe and Final Fantasy 14 both updated this week. So we have update 13.8, I think, or 14. I don't remember what they called it, but it's update 7 for the PS4. So there's a couple new trophies in that. They added some new alert missions, so you can get like really rare items. If you do these, they're called suspicious shipments. They have one of those like every few hours. They just stopped doing them this morning, I think, because they got a message in the game that said that the next phase is about to start in the coming days. I don't know what that means, but that is what they said, so that'll be soon, I guess. And then I played a lot more of Guacamelee. I'm almost done with the first playthrough. So, they actually made the game a lot easier. At first,
What?
Yeah. At first, I thought
Oh.
they added like the Intenso thing to make the game harder, or make the game easier, and then I heard that they changed a bunch of the bosses. Like I fought the second to last boss. His name's Javier Jaguar, and he was the hardest boss in the game the last time. He was like
Oh yeah.
unfair almost. You had to have you had to learn his rhythm, and then once you got that down, then you were able to kill him. You just had to constantly keep that rhythm going, otherwise you wouldn't be able to. You'd get annihilated really fast. But they changed the mechanics, so you're able to dodge his attacks now, where in the last version of the game you couldn't dodge his attacks. You had to just get away fast enough. But changed the way the game works, so you can now dodge all the characters' fire-based attacks, which you couldn't in the past. And then I guess they try to like rebalance the game, so they added new enemies. So now, as you're playing through the game, you'll encounter what they call elite skeletons, and they're just black skeletons instead of white, and they teleport around the map, and they have a lot more health, and they hit a lot harder. So they made certain parts of the game easier and other parts of the game harder. So they kind of just like rebalanced it. Yeah, it's strange. So I still overall I think this version's easier than the PS3 version. But I'm just finishing up the first playthrough. I have to go get all the collectibles, and then we'll kill the boss, and then hard mode shouldn't take me very long at all. But
Awesome, man.
there's a trophy in that game called Next Gen. It's called Next Gen ! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! And the requirements for this are to start a new game on save slot number 2. And I didn't understand what that meant at first, and then I started thinking about it, and I realized that in the past, on my PS3 playthrough, when they added all the DLC, I'd already beaten the game and done both playthroughs, and you could only have one save file. So I had to do all the DLC on hard mode, and in this one you don't have to, because you can put your hard mode game on a separate file. So that's one of their next gen features, is the multiple save files. So they were kind of like poking fun at themselves. I thought that was creative.
That's awesome.
That's nice.
Yeah. And then I'll probably go finish up Strider after I finish Guacamelee, just to keep that Metroidvania thing going. Finish that up too. So, oh, looks like ABC's playing it too. 33%.
Not me.
Yeah, I just have the hard mode playthrough in Strider, and then I'm done with that. So I just never started it. I did the speed run. Actually got the speed run done in my first playthrough, so I just have the hard mode thing left. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. Just Guacamelee, Warframe, and Final Fantasy for me. Probably
Okay.
playing a lot of Final Fantasy for quite a while. I really like it. The updates on that, they added a new raid. They have Rayma. Do you remember Rayma from these are the lightning summon from the older Final Fantasies? He was like an old man with a cane. He had lightning attacks. I don't know if he was in 13. I didn't play enough of 13 to get...
Yeah, I don't remember him at all.
No. Okay. He was in 7, and he was in 6. And I think he was in 8. Anyway, he's the new raid boss, and then they added a new tier of raids. And then they added like guild housing, so you can buy a house with your guild. Just a bunch of little
Cool.
things like that all over the place. The
Can you
next,
go in your house and decorate the house?
yeah, you can go in there and decorate your house. You can put your chocobo in the stables, and he can gain bonus XP, and they can go up to level 20 now instead of level 10. It's kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I'm not high enough of a level to experience any of the new stuff right now, so I'm still trying to catch up. So we'll be there soon. Level 40 right now, so by next week I should be in the raids, and we'll talk about that a little bit. See how it compares to the other MMOs.
Sounds good.
The next expansion, they're adding the new class, the Ninja. So
Yeah, that's intriguing, and it's very tempting as well. But
it's pretty amazing playing my PS4 with a mouse and keyboard. I don't know if I talked about that on the show last week, but I got my Razer Naga, which is this crazy mouse with the 12 buttons on the side. Yeah,
Wow.
it's amazing for MMOs, and it works on the PS4, so that's really cool.
All buttons.
Yep, all the buttons.
It's awesome because you can do map assignment, I guess, with the in the game. They allow you to.
Yeah, I could use all my skills with the 12 thumb buttons.
Awesome.
Yep, it's pretty cool.
Do you think you'll be playing it even after you get the platinum?
Yeah, I think so. As long as the content is decent once I start getting the rating. And they keep updating everything. I'm hoping... See, in the past, when the game first came out, it was the same week as, I think, PAX. And they had a special, like, Final Fantasy 14 booth. And at the booth, they had 8 computers set up. And you could hop on them and get 7 other people to do it with you. And you could fight one of the primals. You do the Titan fight, so you can fight him. And if you killed him, you got a T-shirt that says I beat Titan. And I guess they just did it recently at some other event. I think it was PAX this year again, for Leviathan, because he was the new raid that they added at that time. So I'm thinking FanFest, they're gonna do another one of those.
Oh man.
And they've always said Shiva's the most popular of the Titans or the primals. So I think they're going to do an event for Shiva, and it'd be really cool because Shiva's my favorite, because Final Fantasy was my first, or Final Fantasy VII was the first Final Fantasy game, so Shiva was the first summon that I ever knew, I guess, so she's always been my favorite. So if I could get like an I Beat Shiva shirt and be able to fight Shiva.
Are you up to it?
Am I up to
Do you
it?
think you can do it? I mean, do you
Yeah.
think you can do it?
I've been
All
playing
right.
MMOs forever. I'm actually...
Those raids seem kind of hard.
I'm really good at the raids, as long as the rest of the team pulls their own weight. I'm quite the tank.
Okay.
I've been.
Good luck if it is there.
I hope it is. I'm really excited.
Okay.
That'd be pretty cool. So,
Awesome.
yeah. Yeah, I think that's all that I've been playing. So I don't have much else to talk about in that front.
We are all in the very slow, methodical countdown towards Destiny.
Yeah,
And
this
although
is
you're
supposed to
not
be the
gonna-
time where we're all just going hard, platinum after platinum, clearing out our backlogs while there's nothing else to play. That's
And I'm-
supposed to be this month.
That's exactly, now I find that I'm getting through some of my backlog, and I think I'm going to jump on after this. I'm going to try to finish up. I've been saying this since the beginning of the podcast. Metal Gear Solid, Sons of Liberty, because I still have the
I remember that
virtually
talk. That was like episode
virtually
2.
impossible to finish, and all I have to do is dedicate a solid 10 hours, and I'll get that one trophy and that one platinum that I need. But yeah, so yeah, you're right, man. This was supposed to be our go hard period, and now it's just waiting period. It's a backlog period.
Yeah, I got tied up in 2 games that are never ending. So
Well, of course, and then on the 29th, I got The Last of Us coming up. So I'm
I
going to
still haven't
jump.
decided if I'm going to purchase that or not.
Oh, well, I'm jumping in that really hard, and I can't wait to do it.
Yeah, if you get that digitally, you get extra stuff, extra pre-order bonuses.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to figure out if it's worth it to me. I mean, it's
because you're probably going to keep it. I don't think you'll trade that in. If you trade
Well,
it
I
in,
have-
you trade in the PS3 version.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
one of the games if you buy, you'd keep it.
You do keep it, and I just, yeah, we'll see. I'll make a decision about this week coming up.
Get that extra Ellie costume.
The LA costume, I get the extra loadout points, and I'll get the extra punch them out quickly and kill them in points. So we'll see. That's really what I'm talking about. 'Cause I do have an absolute ball in the multiplayer. The multiplayer is super fun. So
Yeah. I don't know. I'm still debating on whether or not I'm gonna end up picking it up because I don't really want to play it again. But I want to, but I don't. I'm in this weird standstill where I can't decide.
well, I definitely want to experience it, and I hopefully they'll. I think you mentioned this that they're not going to have any caps, and I'll be able to access the hardest difficulty immediately. But running through that game on the extreme difficulty is going to be absolutely wonderful. I just hope I can make it through it.
Yeah. Oh, and we also played The Wolf Among Us. We could talk about
Yes.
that. We could do the spoiler-free version of that. What'd you think of it?
Spoiler-free version. Um, it was probably as equal of quality to the first two episodes, but I felt disappointed at the end. That's what I thought, spoiler free.
So I thought this was the best episode of the 5.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. If he didn't like it, that means that you're going to love it. I was just waiting.
I've already talked about it pretty extensively on previous streams and stuff. I actually liked it a lot. It was the most exciting, the most entertaining. You actually did stuff. You didn't just watch a cutscene for 2 hours. I still think it was too short. I think this one was about an hour and a half. So they have steadily gotten shorter. But yeah, I'd say it was on par with the first 2 episodes, but a little bit better. So, way better than The Walking Dead, the garbage that is season 2.
Oh,
It's not good. It's not good.
Does The Wolf Among Us end off in a way where it seems like there could maybe be another season in the future, or does it just end?
The way it ends is a perfect start for the comic series, which actually at the end it's like, go buy the comics, and it shows you a picture of all the different comic books.
Which is my biggest freaking gripe.
Oh, that's
great.
bad.
It's the biggest gripe that I have with the whole game. All right, so no spoilers, guys. I guess we can't have spoilers, but we'll wait, and then we'll give fair warning to everyone.
Yeah. Some people are saying that they think a second season would happen, but I guess pre-sequels are in right now. So maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? I almost would prefer a pre-sequel. I don't know. Nothing about that makes me feel like, ooh, I can't wait for the next season.
Because all this was the prequel to lead you into the comics. So I don't think they would do a second season, but I'm sure they made a ton of money, so they're probably going to try to add another gap in between the comics and the game.
That's the reason why we have Transformers 4 today.
Couldn't they do something like after the comics?
I don't think the comics are over. I think they're still going.
Okay.
I don't know, though. I haven't kept up with them. I started buying them in 2002 when they first came out.
Whoa, I didn't realize that it was that old of a series.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. I remember buying it, too. I had no idea what it was. The lady at the comic book store was like, hey, this series just started. It's pretty cool. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll get it. And I
Was
bought, like,
it surreal to see a game of it, like, however many years later?
Yeah, I was shocked, actually, when it first came out. I thought it was really cool.
You're like,
Went
this
and grabbed
seems
my
really
comics.
familiar.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. That's neat.
Yep. Now we have Powers to look forward to.
Yeah, hopefully there's a Powers game or an episodic series.
Yeah,
Very, very, very
That's
good.
exactly what we need.
That'd be sweet.
Very good.
Yeah, we'll go into more spoilerific conversation at the end of the show. So if you guys haven't played the game yet, you can just take off then and then catch it on the YouTube channel later on. But we'll be talking about it later. So
Looking at the awesome comments that you tagged all of our news with.
what?
Sorry.
What?
Blah.
Talking about the
Oh, okay. All right. So we'll get into the new stuff here and then start talking about The Wolf Among Us. So we've got Skullgirls. We have a fey new announcements. We got Skullgirls Encore coming to PS4 and Vita in this year.
This year, yep. By the end of the year.
Did you ever play it on PS3?
Very brief. I paid the demo.
demo.
Yeah. I
Not
almost
enough to
started
make
it.
me buy it. Yeah.
I downloaded it on Plus, so
Yeah.
I guess I could play the full game if I wanted.
I've almost started it like 5 times.
Almost. Not quite.
I've
If you can
got-
only get us to start it.
Yeah. I've looked at it on the little game list, and I was like, I should play this. I don't really want to, but I probably should. It's really easy trophies, and I was like, no.
Really?
Yeah,
Are they?
that's what I've heard. I've heard it takes like 6
I don't-
hours.
Play hardcore fighting games a lot, and that seems like one. So
Yeah, I guess it's one of the easier fighters. Also, Rogue Legacy, which I'm actually really excited about, coming to PS4 July 29th.
Mhm.
It's been on Steam for a while, and it was supposed to be on the PS4 around the time of the launch. So we're finally getting that. A lot of people, when that game first came out, a lot of people were wanting me to play it. So they've all said it's really, really good.
Did they
Sort of-
post something about that game on the blog, on the PlayStation blog?
I
Is
have
that
no
the
idea.
game that we're talking about? Oh,
Maybe.
never mind.
I don't know. It's called Rogue Legacy.
Does it look a little bit like Terraria?
Kind of, I guess. Better graphics, less building.
That's all I saw when I saw the screenshot for Rogue Legacy. I just thought, this is Terraria.
That's nice.
Because
A million
all I
times
see
better.
is Terraria every day, all day.
You play as like a knight, and you can customize your loadout, and you go through a randomized dungeon. If you die, you have to start over. It's basically a rogue. Do they call that series Rogue Legacy? Something like that. It's Rogue something. I don't remember what they call it. It might be Rogue Legacy. I don't know. Anyway, a couple collector's editions got announced. You want to talk about Destiny, or do you want to talk about Far Cry 4 first?
Let's talk about Far Cry 4 first.
Far Cry 4.
4.
4.
Let's talk about that first. So we can leave the goodness, the awesomeness for last.
So we should leave Far Cry 4 for last, right?
What? No, man. Talk about that first.
All right. We got the Far Cry 4. I don't know how to say this country's name. Kyrat.
Wow.
Kiwi-
Stop butchering it.
I don't know what it is. It's not real.
I don't know what it
You
is.
can't. Yeah, it's
I tried to-
officially unbutcherable because it's an imagine. It's whatever you want to pronounce. However you want to pronounce it.
I tried to
It's all
Google
about
the
you.
country name to see how to pronounce it, and they said that it was a fictional Himalayan region made for Far Cry 4. So, anyway, that costs. I think they said it was $129.99. Comes with the 3 bonus missions and a harpoon gun. It's pretty exciting stuff. 7.9-inch figurine of the pagan men seated on the elephant throne. He doesn't have the little Oriental man that he's putting his hand on, and take that out. Remember all the chaos
It's
that
not
that
on the
caused.
box art anymore.
I
so
know, I noticed
it's
that too.
a big surprise.
You also get a travel journal, a collector's box, and a map of the Himalayan open world of that country.
That's
So-
big country.
Yeah, you guys gonna get down on this? Excited?
I guess I gotta beat Far Cry 3 first, right?
You still haven't beat Far Cry 3? You have to beat
I
Far
haven't.
Cry 3. I don't think they're
Yeah,
Carnival.
I'm pretty sure they're disjointed. However, I did recall. Let me tell you the reason why I stopped playing. I started playing Far Cry 3 over at a family member's house. Very exciting. The intro and as I'm escaping the village with the brother very early in the game, the one badass guy I want to play as gets killed. I'm not spoiling anything. It happens in the first 5 minutes, people. But and I realized, well, that sucks. So now I have to go through the maturation of this one dude and how he turns out to be this awesome guy, I guess, and get to the end of the game. I have no idea. But I left my family member's house, and I just never played it again. So
Do you think you're
Yeah.
gonna get to pick your character or something?
I would hope.
Why would you do that?
Why would you go from the character that you're inside of to
Right.
another totally different character?
Just saying.
This
I just wanted
isn't
to play
Beyond
as
Two Souls, okay?
I wanted to play as the Rambo dude, you know? It just didn't work out. So yeah, I'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe I can jump on it.
Maybe DLC. Who knows?
You talking about that Far Cry 4? How it's
Yeah.
it's not going to be like a sequel to Far Cry 3. Reminding me of Final Fantasy again, and how all the different Final Fantasies are completely different storylines.
Mhm.
None of them kind of intersect. There's characters that kind of intersect and everything, but they're all different until you get to Final Fantasy 14. And the more that I play this, I've actually paying attention to the story in this game this time. And the first time I kind of just rushed through everything, didn't watch any of the cutscenes. But this time I'm paying attention to the whole story. And there's so many references to everything. They talk about the Warriors of Light and the old legend from Final Fantasy 1, and how the 4 heroes stood across from the primals. And in the cutscene that they show, it's kind of funny because they have the 4 characters and they're all standing in a straight line right in front of the enemy. So it's kind of like a throwback to the old stances that used to be like everything, I think, prior to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there's tons. It's flooded with Final Fantasy references for all the games. So much stuff. So I'm considering going back and playing the entire series again because it's all on the PlayStation Network except for 11 and 12. I guess 12 is only on the PS2 and 11 is only on the 360. So, and the PC. But I'm thinking about going back, starting Final Fantasy 1 and doing like a YouTube Let's Play series. Just tackling all the different Final Fantasies.
That's gonna take some time.
It will. It's probably gonna be like a year-long Let's Play series
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think it'd be a lot of fun.
I will be tuning in across that. My favorite Final Fantasy game, and this is just a staple. This is almost like learning how to play checkers when you're 3 years old. But Final Fantasy Tactics, and I probably try to play that whole thing through about every 3 years.
Did you unlock Cloud
But in the new one,
in Tactics?
the original one I played it on the one. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But the last time I played it was when it originally got released on the PSP, but I don't recall.
That was War of the Lions. That was the sequel. And the original Final Fantasy Tactics was on the PlayStation 1.
But that's what I have. I thought the War of the Lions was the. No, they re-released it.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Okay.
I think Final Fantasy 15 is going to be my new favorite Final Fantasy game.
Your new favorite one. We'll see.
Yeah. It'll surpass Dissidia, I think.
Yeah, I never played Dissidia.
You should. It's really
Probably
fun.
should. I need to. Maybe I'll add that to my series.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'm thinking about doing like the offshoots too, like Dissidia and
I mean,
Crystal
if you like
Chronicles and
interactivity too. Like you
Tactics.
get to see the characters talking to each other and like interacting, and it's just if you like that kind of stuff, you would love Dissidia.
Sounds like a riot. I'm excited.
It is a riot. It is a riot, especially when your favorite characters are saying like the craziest things to other characters.
All right. Oh, before we get into Destiny, I have a short little tangent. A tangent after a tangent. So one of my friends is pregnant, and her due date is on the 17th. And I told her she needs to name her kid Destiny because that's the day that the Destiny beta comes out.
No.
Is the child a boy or a girl?
Unfortunately, it's a boy. But if it comes out a girl,
Oh,
then
that's
she
good,
should name
because-
it Destiny, and then
No.
it kind of would be Destiny if it was a girl.
No, it has to be a boy, and the middle name can be Destiny, because if it's a girl and the name is Destiny, she's going to be on the pole. That's just you just don't want that. You
It's
don't
a
name
boy,
your girl Peaches,
Cloud.
Destiny, Sugar,
If it's a girl,
no
keep
stuff like that. Just leave it alone, guys.
Okay.
Oh man.
Well, I'll let her know you said that. I'll tell her to provoke that.
Thank
I
you.
should tell her to name the child Sora or.
So I don't think she'll go for that.
Too bad. No, I'm
So
kidding.
start laughing. No, is it? No. Well, you have to walk around with a big giant key belt. That wouldn't work out.
That would be awesome. Just like, I guess it'd be kind of weird seeing a baby just holding a giant key. Like,
It's real life cosplay 24/7.
oh man, yikes!
He just has one outfit that they constantly keep remaking as he grows.
The baby crawling with his little baby outfits.
All right, so this is getting weird now. So the Destiny Collector's Edition got announced this week.
Yes, guys, be brave.
There's three different
Follow your
options
destiny.
here. There's three different options. There's the Digital Guardian Edition, which is just the basically the digital deluxe version, which you could upgrade if you already pre-ordered it digitally.
Yep.
Do you know the price of this one? I don't remember the price of this one.
It's $39 to upgrade, I believe, or $29 to upgrade. So
79.
something like that.
Okay, well, we'll say it's $80. That includes the digital download of Destiny. You got a Coke with your name on it.
Yeah,
And that would be our
sorry.
third sponsor
It's
for
our
the
third
week.
sponsor, Coca-Cola. Share a Coke with Alex. Yep, Coca-Cola.
Be careful when you open that now. It's going to cause
Oh yeah, I'm putting that down.
probably a good idea. Looks like it's about to explode. Anyway, now you rudely interrupted my Destiny talk. I know you're not excited about the game, but you could still at least give me my moment.
Okay,
Such a great game. Nothing will be accomplished after Destiny comes out, but continue.
Anyway, you get the game. Early access to the Vanguard Armory and Player Emblem pre-order bonus. I don't know what that means. I think that means that's the app. Is it? I think you can use the app early and you can customize your character. I think that's what that is. Because I remember reading something about it.
Okay.
Okay. Reservation for 2 upcoming Destiny expansions, The Dark Below and The House of Wolves. The Dark Below says... In the Dark Below, you'll discover an ancient tomb that's been unsealed. Beneath the surface of the moon, a dark god has answered centuries of prayer, and a dark army has risen. Explore the true depths of Hellmouth. Stop the Dark Hive, ritual, and survive. Sounds pretty exciting.
Yep.
They said all of the Destiny expansions will have year-long PS4 exclusive content.
Yep.
And
That is
each of these
good.
expansions, if you buy them separately, they're all $20. So these are gonna be like huge expansion packs.
Yeah.
But anyway, you get 2 of them with the digital deluxe edition. So it's pretty much worth it just with that. But you also get extra story missions, extra multiplayer arenas, new weapons, new armors, extra gear, collector's edition digital content in the city. It's also provided with a cache of items to start on your journey, including player skins, emblems, and ship skins. So that's the digital version. Then you also have the limited edition, which is the next step up, which I think is the same price, right? Is it 80 or is it 90?
That's 99.
$99 to get you this. What's all I have on there? The limited edition case and the game disc. So you get the steelbook case.
Yep.
The Guardian folio containing arms and armaments field guide, postcards.
Which is
which
pretty awesome, guys. It's if you haven't had a chance to look at it, it looks like a book with hand drawn weapons with notes on how best to use those weapons in the field. I mean, the concept behind this is that people are awakening to this destroyed age and they're rediscovering everything about it. And so they're finding guns and they're finding out how to use it. And so this book kind of captures the notes and the history of some of this information. But go ahead, Flip.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. Postcards from the Golden Age. I still have Defiance postcards. So now I have some Destiny postcards to go next to them. I don't know why the games keep giving me postcards. Antique Star Chart, which I guess is just a poster of the different planets. I have a Star Wars MMO star chart. It's a big poster with all the Star Wars.
Big poster?
Yeah, it came with the Old Republic. So I got the collector's edition of that. Collector's edition digital content in the city. Same thing. You get the exclusive player emblem, ship skin, and you get the season pass with this one. So,
yep.
I personally think this is the best deal. And
yes.
Unless you want to go crazy, and then you have this option.
I went crazy.
You went crazy? You already bought this?
Yeah, I bought it.
No, he's already crazy.
I bought it.
This is the Ghost Edition. How much was this one?
$150, $149.99.
You get the limited edition steelbook case and the game disc. The Ghost replica. It says this is your motion sensing ghost, featuring lights and audio from the game. So all the voice acting you guys love so much. I don't remember the voice actor, but everyone's been talking about how terrible it is.
The voice acting is awesome, and you get
I didn't have a problem with it either.
Tyrion can tell you that the pea tastes good,
Who's
and
Tyrion?
you will say yes, it is excellent, hot, warm, good tasting piss. He's Peter Dinklage is the actor who plays Tyrion in Game of Thrones.
Okay, so I don't watch Game of Thrones. So
Yeah, there it is.
Either.
got it. Anyway,
Forget about the piss. Just,
I'm sorry,
erase it
guys.
from your minds.
That was I was a little bit excited for Destiny. Forgive me. Continue.
just a little bit.
anyway, if you haven't played the game yet, the Ghost is kind of like your little companion. He follows you around. He opens doors for you, and he'll narrate what you're doing for you.
And I don't know if this is spoiling anything,
It's really nice of
but
him.
I think everyone who knows anything about Destiny at this point understands that something tragic happened. The Traveler came and sent out his ghost that he assigned to uplift Guardians. And so this is a specifically dedicated help person or helpmate to you, and it's so anyway. I wanted to get the 150 Ghost Edition because I expect my ghost to follow me in the bathroom.
I don't think it will.
Dang it!
I don't think it's remote controlled. Do you remember when Call of Duty did that? They had the little
Did they really?
hovercraft thing that you could fly around.
I didn't remember that. I don't remember that, but
a few Call of Duties ago.
listen, this is the worst. This is the worst way to spend an extra $50 ever. I understand that. I pulled the trigger. The only thing I get with this extra $50 is the actual Ghost replica. It's exact. Everything else is exact what you're getting.
You get a letter of introduction.
Do I really? Is that what I get?
Yeah, you get all the other stuff we just said. The postcards, the books, the Guardian folio, but Golden Age relics. Includes a patch, a sticker, and 2 chrome slides of the Traveler. And a letter of introduction. These words were once ours. If you accept your destiny, you'll be asked to do the impossible.
What?
So you get a few extra things. You get like a little patch and some stickers. And
I thought those came loaded. Now, I know there's one thing that else I get is that my ghost will look like the stripy ghost that's in the picture right now that everyone's looking at.
Right.
So I walk around with a burgundy and white gray striped ghost. Of course, which means nothing because within 6 months of this game releasing, there's going to be so many DLCs for 99 cents to reshape your recolor or pattern out your ghost. But anyway, I'm excited. I got it. I'm not going to recant it. I'm happy. I can't wait to pull the little tab out so I can hear the ghost say whatever he needs to say.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Also, we have the Heavenly Sword movie. The trailer just got released.
Oh, boy. So here's the thing, guys. I am a humongous fan of Heavenly Sword. It got crushed beyond compare when it released. I think the game you can beat the game in roughly about 9 hours casually. If you take your time, maybe 10, 11 hours. But if you rush through it, you can knock it out in 8. And everybody, every review site crushed it inherently. I think the population of the PS3s in the world was around 3 to 4 million. It took so long to sell a couple of million of that series. Ninja Theory bashed the game and bashed Sony after it was released, but for so long, so beautiful a game. The voice acting right now stands atop with some of the better voice acting games. The music and the score was absolutely wonderful. The cast, phenomenal. The facial mapping is on par with Uncharted. Amazing. This game was, man. But it got bashed because you can't jump. It got bashed because...
Jumping is important.
Huh?
Jumping is important.
Not necessarily in this game. The combat was fluid and wonderful. So...
That was a big complaint in Watch Dogs.
Here's the
can't jump over like a little lamppost in
That's
front
a problem,
of you.
though, because...
I'm sure that was one of your complaints.
It was my big complaint. And the precedence is that this is an open world that's supposed to be in parallel to GTA, and you can't do it. So... Getting back to Heavenly Sword, and I'm going to wrap this up in 15 seconds, guys. Something is happening. Ninja Theory has come out and says, hey, we got this big reveal that we're going to talk about in a month. Can't wait to share, And they put this poster, and it shows Heavenly Sword. It shows Devil May Cry, and then the most horrible game in the world, Enslaved, right? And they're so happy. And then they come out with this movie. And this movie has... direct to DVD quality CG. It looks like garbage, and I'm sad about it.
I'm sorry. I thought you were excited. You sounded like you had so
I'm
much
sad
hype.
about the movie, and I'm going to buy it because I want Sony to feel like there's support behind this game and give us the Heavenly Sword too. What a wonderful! This is going to make me go play this game again. What a great game! I just wish it had trophies.
I'm surprised there hasn't been a sequel, especially since Noriko is her name. Is that right?
Yeah.
So she was in PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale.
Yeah, well, she's a Sony character now. Matter of fact, that one of the great things about this game is she's going underneath this old area, and she kind of collapses into this this hidden area underneath a rock crevice, and there's these old ancient weapons stacked up all around her, where she's looking at all of them. And lo and behold, we see Kratos' chain swords, up on the mantle. I just thought that was a nice little playback to God of War.
In the game?
In the game, yeah.
That's cool.
Pretty awesome.
Cool. Anyway, the movie comes out September 2nd. So the release date for that.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Do you think it's a test run for Ratchet and Clank and Sly Cooper?
That's already gone. Those things are already in production, and I can tell you those games look infinitely better than Heavenly Sword. You can and further, I think, isn't Ratchet and Clank going to be released in the actual movie theaters?
Yeah.
Yeah, but next year. That's why I'm saying, do you think this movie is just like coming out to give us an idea?
Yeah, absolutely not. This movie would get low ratings on Cartoon Network. It looks, you know what it looks like? It's the graphics are not as nice as that. Remember Star Wars had a animated series? It's the cell shaded CG. I forgot what it was called, right?
Star Wars.
Yeah, there you go. That looks good. If it was just at that quality, I would be okay. it looks like very poor done CG.
So where is the movie? Is it going to be just like released to DVD?
Yep.
Okay.
I thought there was talk of another movie. Now that you guys were discussing that. Oh, the Thief movie. Yeah, that's what it was. They're making a
Really?
Thief movie.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
by the producer of the Hitman movie, which I didn't even know was a thing.
Don't think that I want to see that, especially if it's modern.
I want another Prince of Persia movie.
What? No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I like Prince of Persia.
Also, it looks like they just announced a Dead Island 2 Collector's Edition. Choose your content and fan vote. That's weird. You can cast your vote in the Google document. Voting closes midnight, July 14th. Items include a beach towel, sunglasses, a plush toy cat, an art book, a beer cooler, a steel book, and even a real zombie. Why does it say that? What does that mean?
Am I thinking of the wrong game, or did the first Dead Island have a pre-order bonus that was like the torso of like a woman, and it was just
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It was
Yeah.
very.
Well, the first
yeah,
comment
very
on this Dead
controversial.
Island 2 says, "Hey, no zombified boobs this time." So I think you're right.
yeah, that's. I think
was a
there
big
was sort
deal.
of like a little uproar about that.
Yeah.
You're condoning the abuse of
We don't
women.
want women torsos.
So that was,
Yeah. Also, Watch Dogs sold 8 million units. That's a lot. I'm kind of frustrated at that because the only reason they sold that much because there was no games for the consoles. So I don't feel like it's a very accurate representation. Everyone was just hungry for a new game. People bought it. Everybody hated it. They're going to make
That's
a
exactly
sequel.
what I said.
Right. They're going to make a sequel, and it's probably going to bomb, and I hope the franchise dies. I'll send you a link.
oh, whoa.
I do. I hate it.
don't
It was
think
such
it-
a bad game. There's a link to the Google Doc if you guys want to check out the Dead Island 2 stuff. You can vote on what you want. I hate how meh is one of the choices here. You can vote on things on what you want in this collector's edition. 1 is do not want, 2 is neutral, 3 is meh, and 5 is I need this. I hate that word when people describe things as that. That drives me insane.
Meh.
So stupid. I hate it. That's
Mm.
my biggest pet peeve right now, and it's going around all over the place, and it's so stupid. Stop saying that. It's not
It's
a
going to
word.
die down.
I-
Give it 2 more
Meh.
months.
I don't care what you think. Meh.
Give it 2 more
It's
months.
stupid. Just say it's okay. Just say it's all right. Just say it's not that great.
All I want
Stop
is sunglasses.
saying yeah. You don't want the Rick Fury super cuddly plush
This
toy
is
cat?
horrible. This is horrible. I don't want any of these things.
I don't want any of them.
A real zombie. It's near the bottom.
A real one?
PS4 or Xbox One Dead Island 2 controller skins. That would be really cool. That should be a thing for more collector's editions. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, what? I think so.
Anyway, yeah. Where are we at? We got one more news story. Assassin's Creed Comet. Have you guys heard about this?
No, I haven't.
And I guess the rumors just recently started coming out. This will be the last gen Assassin's Creed. Like they're making 2 Assassin's Creeds this year. They're making the one on the PS3 and Xbox 360, and they're making the PS4 and Xbox One. Unity is the next current gen, and I don't know if this game, the title is finalized, but right now it's called Assassin's Creed Comet. It's supposed to take place in North America. That's all we know. They said there'll be more information coming
Jeez,
soon.
they're churning those games out.
It's impossible. I cannot fathom them releasing Comet only on previous gen.
They've been talking about this the entire year.
But I always thought it would be a dual release.
No, they said they've been coming out with 2 different games. They'll both come out on the same day, one for last gen and one for current gen. They've said this ever since
Of the same
4
game,
came out.
right?
No, they're 2 different
Oh, what a
games.
horrible,
They've
horrible
been saying this
decision.
for a long
What a
time.
horrible decision. Can't believe they're doing that.
Why is that a horrible decision? That sounds cool.
Well,
That
you
means that Unity won't be held back by the last gen
It-
restrictions.
It doesn't have to be held back.
It would be just like all these
No.
other games that have terrible graphics because they're developed
Like
for both
Watch Dogs
consoles.
could get
Like-
been better if it
right.
wasn't cross-gen.
Yes.
No, it's just reduction of assets, right?
It's
So
not just
I don't
that,
know.
though.
Well, I guess everybody can't have scalable
Right.
settings like every single PC game in existence.
It's not really that. It doesn't work that way. I don't know enough about development to argue with you, but I know it's not like that because a lot of these cross-gen
I
games
guess
look
I can
terrible.
kind of see what you're saying. You don't think it's worth like keeping a whole console version of the game like out of existence just to improve the visuals of another
No,
console?
no, and it's all about scalability, and it's probably, I guess, if they already had concepts of the game and already had preset assets and then maybe they just worked off the engine and just developed it and probably threw something together and put a story around it. Who knows? And it's an easy win from a development perspective to get it out there on the PS3 and the Xbox 360. Who knows, man? But
Yeah.
all I know is an Assassin's Creed game automatically sells 5 million copies.
Well, now they
And
sell 10 million copies.
well, yeah, I guess so.
I'm curious to see which one is going to do better, the last gen or the current gen.
Yeah,
It'll be
I think it's
interesting.
different, Jen.
Yeah. All right. Forgot to talk about new releases for the week, so we can do that now. Retail, we got One Piece Unlimited World Red, whatever that is.
It's awesome.
Sounds like a terrible
Get
game.
it, everybody. Don't listen.
You guys, your animes. I feel like I'm on the
It's
wrong
amazing. You are.
show.
Get lost.
Tour de France season 2014. You guys are into bike racing.
Yes.
All about
Yeah.
suffering.
Waiting for that one.
Have you guys
All about stuff.
Have you guys been watching the World Cup? I've been saying it all month. Germany's going to win it, and they're going to the finals. That last game the other day, they killed it. Did you see it?
Talk about the one with they hurt.
What?
Are they the ones that hurt Brazil's feelings?
Hurt what?
Brazil's feelings.
Yeah, 7-1.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's so
They
many people
scored, they
crying.
scored 5 times in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was kind of insane. Anyway, they go to the finals, and they're playing Argentina, and they're going to win, and it's going to be exciting.
You're gonna.
I am going to love it. I've been hyped every week. You get more and more excited.
Awesome.
Anyway, also, Mousecraft, whatever this is, it looks like a terrible Lemmings meets Mousetrap game.
What it is I guarantee you 25 parents across the United States of America will buy this because their kids said they wanted Minecraft. And their little children will be crying because they got Mousecraft instead. This is not it, Mom! So anyway,
Yeah. I can
it's
see that
called
happening.
fantastic marketing right there, guys.
That accidental purchase.
All the time, it's going to happen.
Yeah. Just like the Wii U.
There you go.
I know there are tons of people who got the Wii instead of the Wii U because their parents didn't know what they wanted.
It's just a controller, kid. Don't worry about it. You don't need it.
Zombie Driver HD Complete Edition. What is this?
Don't know. Don't care. Move on.
Another World finally came out. It's only
Awesome.
$7.19. It's really cheap if you have PlayStation Plus. So, I still haven't picked it up. 1 trophy list, or 3 trophy lists. Sorry. You play it one time, cross save. You can get trophies on all 3. So, and apparently it's really easy. And The Wolf Among Us Episode 5. What was that game that we talked about? Sacra Terra?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Sacra Terra, the Kiss of Death. That didn't get added to this list. That looks like a strange, interesting game. I don't know what
Yeah,
it's
guys.
about.
If you're into Egyptian dead love, you want to get that, man.
It looks like a puzzle game. It looks like Myst.
That's
I guess.
exactly what I've been getting into lately.
I wonder if
Egyptian dead love.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts off. I was like, oh, "This looks like murdered soul suspects." You have like the exact same ghost image, like the graphics are the same, and then it turns into like a puzzle game, and then it starts looking like Myst, and then it's weird. I don't know. The trailer's very strange. Check that out. No new demos. Not that I saw anyway. I didn't see any new DLC except the Warframe and Final Fantasy 14 updates, which nobody except me cares about. So it's true.
Guys. Yeah. And I meant to say that I did have a chance to play Muramasa. I probably mispronounced the name, Rebirth. It is a wonderful game, and I'm looking forward to trying to knock that out as well.
I want to do that.
Love PS Plus. PS Plus is
Yes,
I now have, it's just awesome. Get to play all the games I always wanted to.
Yeah.
That didn't want to pay the money for it. So
I need to check that out too. I still haven't gotten around to it. I've wanted to for a long time. I keep hearing people love it. Just rave it. We were supposed to play Dead Space 3 DMC.
let's do it.
You lied to me. You're like, I'm just gonna be playing games all day tomorrow, and you were never on.
Sad face, everyone. Sad face. Well,
You have to message him at 3 in the morning, and then that's
well,
when he's ready.
the prerequisite for that is I have to get up at 2:30 and be like, dang it, I can't sleep. So
Okay, so you got to let him contact you at around.
I am going to download. I'm deleting. I'm deleting some things off my PS3. I'm not deleting Borderlands, and then I will add Dead Space. I will be ready.
Okay.
It will happen.
You sure you're deleting Borderlands?
I'm not deleting Borderlands,
No.
just in
Okay.
case.
You're deleting Borderlands?
No,
No, he's not.
I'm just messing.
I'm not gonna delete it, even though I haven't played it since the last
We
time
need to play that.
Fliptriq wanted to play with me.
Yep.
That was many moons ago.
Many
long time
months ago.
since I
That was like
played that.
March. All right. We can do trophy stats, and then we'll wrap up the show and start our Wolf Among Us talk.
Yay. Didn't you mention something about a Legend of Korra trailer?
I didn't think that was worth talking about. It was like a
Oh,
30-second
that's what,
animated
guys,
trailer.
There's a trailer for the Legend of Korra game that's supposed to be coming out as a digital download for what, PS3 and PS4? Or
It's coming out for the Xbox as well, I believe. I heard.
Yeah, who cares about that? But yeah, so check it out if you like Korra and you like anime and you like cool things like cool
You
people
like
do.
cartoons because your
like-
inner child is always happy.
You like things that seem like cartoons but aren't actually cartoons. Yeah, check it out.
Different category.
I'm picking on Flip. He doesn't. You got to get on him for not watching Legend of Korra, people. He thinks that it's a cartoon. He doesn't like.
Why would I want to watch Nickelodeon?
You don't
What?
have to watch it
Why
on
is that there? Why do I have happy hands again? Oh, that's from last
That was
week.
last
Okay, never
week.
mind.
I'm trying to
Never mind.
replace it, but Alex won't stop teasing me about anime. So
I won't let you.
anyway,
Anyway.
DMC. Last week, you're at.
Last year you had 45 trophies.
We haven't been making much progress, so anyway, 4389 trophies, 68 platinums, level 23, 64%. You got a platinum, and you got a much cooler trophy background. Now you're at 4,407 trophies. It's an increase of
So, like-
17, 18. Right? Is that 18?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, and one of those was platinum. That was the Wolf Among Us, right?
Yeah, it was.
Finally got that. It was like, we started that in October. Can you believe
Yeah,
that?
right.
October 15th was when episode 1 came out. Finally finished that.
I think next year I'm going to join the 24 level 24 club, but I'm afraid that you and Alex will leave me behind
Next
Yeah,
week
we're
or
gonna
next
be
year?
like, oh,
next week.
Okay, you said next year.
Dang it.
Then Alex, you're at 4,409 trophies. Hey, DMC almost caught up to you last week.
time.
level 24, 45%, 76 platinums. Wrong button. Now you are at 4,414. You got 5 trophies. Yeah, that's like one a day.
Yeah. Sure are. Yeah. It's so much fun. You
It's
make
called
so much.
efficiency, man.
Working 5 days a week.
Well, if I had help, somebody would help me. I had to do it all alone. It's so hard.
All right, and then me,
You have no
4667.
sympathy.
Spent way too much time on Final Fantasy 14. Let's see if it paid off. 4,692 trophies. How many is that? 25.
Awesome.
Beat you.
Oh no. What level are you at?
I'm level 24. I went up 10%.
There's still a chance.
So I'm exactly one level above you. So you have 8,000 points to make up in the next week, assuming I make up none. And I got one new platinum. Platinum number 60. That's exciting. That's kind of a milestone.
It is
sorta.
exciting, man.
That Hannah Montana.
What?
I said time to pull out that Hannah Montana.
I might
again.
fire that up.
See.
Might fire that up. You guys want me to play that so much, so. Oh, I sent out when I was playing Guacamelee. There's a certain portion of the game where it's near the end of the DLC challenges. There's like a challenge room where you have to do 17 different challenges. And if you get to the top of the tower, there's a poster in the background, and it's a picture of Juan, and he's like raising his hands, he's all excited, and at the bottom it says, "A winner is you." and I took a screenshot of that, tweeted it, #motivation. And I had like 5 motivational Twitters follow me like over the course of the next day. After the third or fourth one, I was like, what is going on? Because I had no idea why this kept happening. It just kept like let me see if I can bring it up real quick. I'll tell you the names of these tweets or these Twitters. But anyway, I kept seeing them over and over again. And finally, by the third one, I was like, oh, it's because of that guacamole tweet. But we got @motivation quotes, @motivate tweet, @justtime_do_it, @tmotivational, and @motivational advice. All felt the need to follow me based on my guacamole tweet. I thought it was funny.
Awesome, man.
You're motivating people.
I guess so. So much that the motivational Twitter.
You know what you got to tweet next,
often,
right?
What?
If you get a hangnail, cut off your finger. Wouldn't they be with you then? Oh, it's the opposite of motivation. Why am I the only one that gets that joke?
Because that didn't make any sense.
It does, man. It's the opposite of motivation. It's like demotivated. Like, why would I? Okay,
Do you need to be motivated to trim your fingernails?
I'm backing out.
I'm so confused.
I'm backing out. I'm backing out, people. Okay. Very weird cricket sign there. Alex, the sound.
No. That was backing up.
Oh, that was backing up. Okay.
Yeah, it was a really bad backing up sound, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can try to do the cricket.
No.
That doesn't work either. You're just being quiet, Flip, because you want us to embarrass ourselves. And
Party people.
Let you guys do it to yourself.
Party people. I want to warn you. We're gonna jump directly into the Wolf Among Us spoiler, right? Right, Flip?
As long as there's nothing else you guys want to talk about outside of that. Right?
I don't have any.
Okay.
I think we should talk about anime.
We're not going to do that. You've had your 15 minutes of stardom.
We should still do it.
You've had your 15 minutes. Anyway, that was episode 24 of the Trophy Shares podcast. We'll be back next Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 o'clock Eastern time. All of our PSN IDs are listed underneath our pictures. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow me at Fliptriq and DMC at DMC_123. Alex is too cool for Twitter, so you have to add him on PSN. And hope he responds to your messages.
Hope.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Anyway.
Looks like we're going to have a confrontation after the podcast.
So let's get into The Wolf Among Us. Alex, you didn't play it, right?
I didn't.
Calling you out right at the beginning.
All
right, we're going to talk full spoilers. Probably spoilers for The Walking Dead that might come up. That's came up in the past. Usually just when we're comparing the two games. That's usually when that comes up. So it's not like deep spoilers for The Walking Dead, but sometimes it surfaces. But we're talking about all 5 episodes and what we thought of the ending and stuff like that. So, yeah. Where do you want to start?
You know what? I guess my overall impression of it is that it was much better than the previous 2 episodes. Probably equally on par and engaging as the first 2. Nothing really special to me. I mean, obviously, I think the full wolf mode was pretty engaging. But
would you consider that a boss fight? Were you fighting Bloody Mary?
No, I don't. But I thought Bloody Mary was freaking awesome as a bad guy.
Why is she turning into glass? Is that because she comes out of a mirror?
I don't know. I guess so. I guess so. But how did he know that she was the final boss? And even I don't know.
How did he know she was the final boss? I don't think.
How did the wolf guy know? I mean, I guess he did his wolf howl of his big bad wolf blowing, and it's everything about it just seems sloppy and rushed. So I want to get your general impressions. I want to talk about what my biggest couple of grabs were. But go ahead. I know that you are completely on the other side of me on this, but let me hear your thoughts.
I thought it was the best episode. I really liked the car chase scene at the beginning. I thought that was more action-packed than the last 3 episodes combined. I thought it was really cool when we turned into the full wolf. I thought he was really big, though. I don't know why the wolf that was that huge. He was, like, gigantic.
Have you ever actually seen a real wolf? They're pretty big.
This thing was ginormous, like couldn't fit in the room.
Yeah. The
Like-
wolf was probably
Like
probably
Godzilla?
30 feet. No, it was probably 30 or 40 feet tall, maybe even 50 feet tall at the shoulders from paw to shoulder. Humongous.
How is he so tiny as a human?
I have
Then?
no
Well,
idea.
it's-
It was
it's
really
called-
confusing,
It's called magic.
I guess.
I guess I have no idea.
Glamour really works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Then you did the Bloody Mary fight. Not took care of her. Talked to Crane. Is that who that was? No.
No.
Who was that?
No,
What's his name?
No,
The Cooking
after
Man.
that,
Cooking
Yeah.
Man. So what'd you do with him? Actually,
what?
hold on. But before we get into that, your first option, I think, was to chase either Georgie, or you could have chased the Cooking Man. I think, because at the end of the chase scene, I had the option to jump onto either of the two cars.
oh, really? I didn't get that option.
Oh, well, it gave me the option.
Oh,
They're
you
like
know what?
a
It
reticle.
did.
There's like a
You know
target
what?
on either of them.
You know what? It did give me that option, I think, but I went after Georgie.
Me too. What'd you do there? Did you end up? Did you talk to him? Did you let him live? Did you kill him?
I talked through him the whole thing. I wanted to hear the whole conversation. I didn't threaten. I didn't threat the. What did I forget the girl's name? What was George's
Vivian?
girlfriend's name? Vivian. But Vivian elected to kill herself. Right.
I tried to kill her. I want to know. Yeah, I reached for the ribbon, and she was like, "Nope, I'm gonna do this myself." And then she proceeded to do that, and she pulled the ribbon off, and her head fell off, and I was like, "How did we not see this?" Because that scene just seems so familiar. I don't remember what fairy tale that is, but the girl with the ribbon, she can't take it off. They talked about it a little bit. How yeah. I was like, how did we miss that? We thought it was like lip gloss or something.
It was a ribbon, yeah. My lips are sealed. I did think it was lip gloss. I was pretty convinced about that. You know, she was putting on lipstick at the time. Yeah. So what I ended up doing with Georgie is Georgie. I believed him, even though I kept the pressure on him, and he wanted me to kill him, and I ended up doing it. He wanted me to end his life, so I didn't let him suffer. I've regretted that later because I thought that maybe if I did let him live, that maybe he would have been able to help me help testify against the Cricket Man.
I was the biggest jerk I've ever been in a video game in this, because I felt like a badass when you turn into the wolf and you're like running down the street. So I'm like, I'm just gonna play off this. So anytime I got the prompt to punch somebody, punched him, killed Georgie immediately, tried to kill Vivian, killed Bloody Mary, killed the Crooked Man immediately, just gutted him.
How does that happen? So what? Your ending of your game must have been completely different. I carried the Cricket Man all the way back to the wishing well. There was a big giant community council there, big giant debate where the Cricket Man tried to twist everybody's words, and he's pretty much just the trial. Pretty much just a fantastic con artist, right? You know, at the end, they left the decision up to me. The Cricket Man tries to push me down the wishing well. I stop him, and then the Cricket Man's like, "He's going to kill me now. Look, everybody, look, this is justice." And I say, "Nah, we're going to lock you up. We're going to lock you up." And the witch that I saved in the previous episode, where I didn't let them burn down the tree, ended up changing him into a crow.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's so that's how that went down, and everybody was like, "Wow, Flip."
Anti-Greenleaf.
Oh, Auntie Greenleaf, she's awesome. You know, wow, Wolf, you're so nice and great.
The people in your game said, "Wow, Flip."
Yeah, because Flip was the big bad wolf, and yeah. But anyway, they appreciated me, man, and it was like, wow, you're so freaking great. And of course, I had a couple of people. I was like, why didn't you kill him? He killed my sister. No, it was. I thought the story up until that point went down very, very well. I didn't like the fact that Wolf had his clothes neatly folded in the corner after he just ripped out of him like the Incredible Hulk, and he was able to button up. You know, I thought that was ridiculous, and I hope that he would have said something like, "Hey, thank goodness for magic tailors." You know, something. You know, just little stupid stuff like that just kind of make me mad. And then I'm getting to the end, but I'm gonna hold my big complaint about the end until you finish. I think you were talking about the story progression. But that's amazing, though. So what happened to you after you killed the Cricket Man?
Well, I was in that room, and he was threatening me, and I punched him a couple times, and he kept threatening me, and he's like, well, you're going to have to let me stand that trial. Snow wouldn't appreciate it if I was dead. And I was basically said, screw you, and clawed him and just grabbed his throat and pulled it out, and he was just dead. Then it was really odd. He picked him up and like carried him to the trial still. Like we still went there. we carried the dead corpse, and Snow flipped out. She was not happy. Snow was screaming. She was in a riot. All the townspeople were just in chaos. Like, what the hell did you just do? And I like I said, I was being a badass. So I was just defending myself the whole time. I was like, this is the way it had to be. I had to get justice. This is all worth it. And the only people, like, the whole crowd was like against me at first, and I kind of persuaded them slowly because Grendel and Holly were on my side. They're like, "Yeah, Wolf, you killed him. It's about time." And then Snow hated me. She was like, "This is not okay." Like she went all ghetto on me. She was like, "This is not okay." And Beauty was kind of on my side. She was kind of torn. And then Beast like almost attacked me, and then Beauty got mad at Beast, and then Beauty was on my side. So,
Gee whiz. He wants to be with the wolf.
It's,
yeah,
the other beast.
Basically, Snow was just telling me how this is not how the justice system works. I should have given him a trial, and I was like, hey, he needed to die. He killed Georgie, or he hired Georgie to kill these other two girls. And everyone started to slowly come around, and then I just threw him down the wishing well.
Did Ariel come into your...
Narissa was on my side. She was the first one who started on my side, and then that brought Holly and Grendel into it. And then Beast got mad, and then Beauty was on my side.
Okay. Well, I pretty much had I went very very diplomatic the entire thing, and I ended up getting everybody on my side at the very end.
I guess a lot of people, they're prompt, like you said, the Crooked Man turned into a crow?
Well, yeah,
a lot of people ripped his head off. I kept reading that in forums that they ripped his head off and then threw him down the well.
Gee whiz. Yeah, no, I elected to save him and lock him up. The witch lady Greenleaf explained that there was a way that she can secure and ensure that he doesn't turn back into the Crooked Man, that he can be locked up forever through his existence. And she turned him into a crow.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
Cool. So do we want to talk about the end before or do you want to wait?
Yes. Let's talk about your theory. So I think it's correct.
Yeah. So at the ending, you meet up with Narissa again, and she's talking about everything that happened and how your actions were justified, that we did the right thing. I guess before that, we went and tried to talk to Snow. Did you go back to that office?
Yeah.
Did she talk to you? She didn't want anything to do with me.
It was a big middle finger.
Yeah, okay.
So, it was like, I'm too busy.
Okay. I thought that was just because I had already killed...
No. That's part of my big freaking gripe. But go ahead, continue.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to read the text that I sent. I also posted this on the forums. So, basically, when Narissa's talking to you, at the very end, it plays like a flashback, and you hear all these different portions of the game, and I guess they're trying to get you to piece everything together so you can understand what happened. I don't think Faith was ever actually in the game. I don't think we ever met her. For me, I think that Narissa was disguised as Faith, she was glamored as Faith at the very beginning of the game when Faith initially approached us and asked for the money. I think that was Narissa. She was trying to get on Wolf's good side so that Wolf would care about the investigation, and later on, when he found Faith's head, she was basically shoveling him in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Narissa calls herself the Little Mermaid throughout the game, and then again at the end. I thought that was a huge metaphor for the entire game, because Ariel was the Little Mermaid. She wanted to be free. She disguised herself as a human but couldn't talk, and tried to seduce the prince so that she could be free. Narissa disguised herself as Faith at the beginning of the game to get Bigby attached to her. She couldn't talk about anything that was going on, but had to steer Bigby in the right direction. So we have like both Ariel and Narissa not being able to talk about what's happening, both trying to disguise themselves as something else, trying to seduce or win over a specific person.
Yeah.
And escape. Ariel, for Ariel, it's the king. King Triton, I don't remember his name. Mm-hmm. And for Nerissa, it was Georgie.
Hmm.
And they're both trying to just get free by basically using everybody. I don't know who Ursula would be in this situation. I think it would be like the investigation as a whole would be Ursula. In my metaphor. I don't know.
It would have to be. It would have to be a Crooked Man.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And so basically, I think Nerissa orchestrated the entire investigation.
Yeah, and
I think that Little Mermaid reference is like just a giant metaphor for the entire game. Like the whole time, I thought we were playing The Boy Who Cried Wolf or Little Red Riding Hood, but I guess we were playing The Little Mermaid.
yeah. So let me tell you how spot on you are. You are. I got enough of it to realize that she's the one that put a lot of things in play so that Bigby would be in the right spots at the right time to follow the leads.
Right. Because she said she's the one who delivered Faith's head also.
Right. That's certainly right. The parallel, I think, is spot on, Flip. And if you just to follow this on, there's several moments in the game in this final episode where they just stay in the strip club and they just keep on showing the mermaid's tail flash back and forth. Did you notice that? Do you remember that?
I remember that
It's
now,
the
but I never
neon
noticed
lights,
it back then.
the neon lights on the wall, and they keep on flashing back to that continually. They did it on 2 occasions and hovered on that in the background while he's having a conversation for like 5 or 6 seconds. Really weird, but I never thought about it until you brought up your theory. So they're trying to tell us.
Yeah.
this is what's happening. So no, I think it's spot on, and it's interesting, right? But I don't know if it's mind blowing, and so, but not forgive me. The theory is mind blowing. I think the theory is excellent in the context of the 5 episodes. I just feel like I'm not rewarded at the end.
You got to kill the Crooked Man. That was your reward. I feel like the ending was what you did, the Crooked Man. Like they could have and should have ended it right there, and that would have been like the traditional ending. But that last scene with Nerissa was kind of just like let's leave this open ended, give some room for interpretation, let people.
But see, there's
decide.
nothing. Well, yeah, I like that part. That's that part, and then you get to decide whether or not you're going to let her go or just run after her.
Yeah, what did you do there?
I ran after her.
So me too, but it
I
didn't
was
seem
like,
to do
wait.
anything. It didn't do anything. Like
Just
nothing
stopped
happened
it.
after that.
What was I going to do when I caught you? But yeah. Here is well. Let's read. Let me see this theory real quick.
Justin says, Faith at the beginning of the game was actually Faith. She still had Nerissa's body glamored as her and set it on the doorstep to start everything. Faith was glamored as Nerissa for the rest of the game to get away from everything. See, that's another theory that I guess has been floating around, that they think that Nerissa was never in the game, that was Faith the entire time. But the only time, or the only way that... like, in episode 3, when you talk to Andy Greenleaf, you burn down the glamour tree. So if you did that, then Faith wouldn't be able to get the glamours anymore, so she wouldn't be able to disguise herself as Nerissa for the last half of the game. So that's where I don't agree with that theory. But that one's been going around a lot too. I've heard lots of people that say that Nerissa was Faith at the beginning of the game, and that Faith was Nerissa through the entire game. And it's kind of like just a back and forth. Which one do you believe? And if you go with Nerissa being Faith at the beginning, then that kind of leads into everything I said. But yeah, that's the only thing, the only like drawback to what we just read.
Well, you can't glamour up a dead body. They totally investigated her body, so it was actually Faith's body that was found.
Yeah, I guess the doctor would have noticed that the glamour.
Yeah,
was there.
so it's without question, Nerissa was Nerissa, and her story kind of pans out. Let me just say this, and I'll hold my peace. I understand this was the prequel into the Fable books, but they go through this entire story of building up this relationship to the point that the previous 2 episodes was all about Bigby codifying and nurturing the feelings and supporting Snow, and you're looking forward to what this resolution was going to be. This became very much a romance crime story, And yet we get to the very end, and everything that I wanted the frog family to stay, and I wanted my pig friend to stay in my apartment. These are all the things that I said and I expressed vividly that I wanted to happen. Yet Snow takes these people, even though we have now a witch that can make glamours any freaking time she wants to support the entire community, puts these people on a freaking truck to the farm, including my friend who I just freaking saved Fairy Town. Why the hell can he have a glamour? You know what I'm saying? It's just bad.
Pig.
No, the pig. It's just bad writing, man. It just bugged me out. And I go back into the building. This is a long line because now the bureaucracy of government is still in place, and here's this line of people that needs things. They need things, so they're in line. And Snow's working real hard. She's working real hard. She's doing paperwork because Crane, who knows where Crane is, right? Crane is nowhere around. And I come around the corner, and I just saved freaking Fairy Town. And she's like, oh, yeah, hey, Bixby, can't talk right now. And I'm like, what the heck? And so I walk away, and I'm depressed. Bixby is depressed. He's visibly emotional, like, what the heck is going on?
And then Bluebird walks in the door, and she's like, oh, it's about time you showed up.
Yeah, and he goes in, and he just goes and talks to Snow. Hey, Snow. Snow says, hey, Big, I've been walking for you. So he goes in the door, and she has time for him, but not the freaking guy who just saved the entire fairy village. And
so
I
it
walk
made sense
downstairs.
for her to be mad at me, but I guess it didn't make sense for you.
That's my point, right? And it just seemed very sloppy. And at the very end, the only freaking person
connect, and sometimes it's kind of hard to do without forcing something.
Well, there you go. I guess to close it all up, the only person who really cared or understood what I did and appreciated it was Marissa.
Yeah.
But again, everybody in the freaking community just saw what I accomplished, and it just made me feel like the writing was sloppy and it could have been done better. And if they didn't want to force a relationship with Snow and Bixby because it led into the comic books, that's fine. I have a whole bunch of comic books to read to catch up on that. But give me the pivot. Show me the pivot where all of a sudden something happened and now Snow doesn't want to have anything to do with Bixby. That makes sense to me, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I'm upset.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. So I guess they should have just rounded out both the different story arcs and kind of had a resolution for both of them rather than the same resolution that I guess didn't make sense in your playthrough but made perfect sense in mine.
Yeah, it did.
Was Snow mad at you during the trial?
No, I totally supported her. I wanted her to make the decision. I wanted to make it a democracy. She kept on smiling at me like, thank you. Snow will remember this. Snow will remember this. Snow will remember this. The whole time I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get the girl. I can't wait. Snow's going to remember everything I'm doing. It's awesome. It's going to all come into play, right? And it didn't matter.
Nope.
Didn't matter. None of it mattered. She was just like, yeah, hey, Bluebird, come on in my office. We got to talk. I don't have time for you, Bixby. I was just like, what? You know what sucked? Here's the kicker. You know what sucked? In that trial, when I said it's a democracy, we should have a vote. And then everybody agreed we should have a vote. And then somebody spoke up and said, you know what? We probably shouldn't have a vote, man. You're the law here, Bixby. You do it. Snow said, yeah. Everybody all of a sudden said, hey, you make the decision, Bixby. You're the law. We trust you. Yay, Bixby, Wolf, we trust you. You do this. And I said, okay, I'll do it. And I decided not to kill him. Now, of course, Grim, whatever his name is, and the other girl got really, really mad, but everybody calmed down and all the events took place. And I'm just trying to figure out, well, if I can make the decision on who lives and die, if I just solve the freaking town, why the heck can I go in the office and talk to Snow and Bluebird? Why the heck can I figure out what's going on?
She was busy.
She was busy with Bluebird. I'm jealous. Anyway, that's what happened. I'm done. I'm finished talking.
Can't break through those boundaries that they set for you in the episode.
There you go.
Too bad.
Do you think there's going to be season 2?
Yeah, absolutely is. It's too much easy money, and they don't care. And at this point, it's I keep on going back to what you said, 4 or 5 months ago, where you thought that they were too busy to be as carefully successful as they was in the past.
Right.
And they're only going to grow, and their studio is going to grow, and it's yeah, this is way too much money to leave on the floor.
Yeah. I hope there's not a season 2, but there probably will be. It just wouldn't make sense because, like I said, this kind of leads right into the comics. So
Well, they have to rewrite the comic books. I mean, you have a
they're not gonna rewrite the comic books. What?
well, the point is that each comic book series has a directional path that is absolute, and if they go into the comic book structure, they have to rewrite that path, because that's the whole concept of the Telltale games. They're open-ended. Your choice matters. There's different outcomes. People die, people live. And so it has to be, and I think you brought this up earlier, Flip, it has to be a super prequel where they can put enough time, maybe the whole thing takes place in...
between, like, they added this investigation. They just have to add an investigation and kind of have the ending be at the exact same standstill that it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd have to be like a complete closure to get to the first issue of the comic, which I guess they could do.
Couldn't they just make episodes based off of the comic books? Like,
I don't think they want to do
can't.
that, because then
yeah,
you'd already know what would happen.
Yeah, you don't have choice. Yeah. You don't have any choice unless they introduce new characters. One of the things, the consequences associated with these games mean something, right? And that's what makes them fun. So if you don't know the story, and you really don't know what the end game is, but you're just following the path, and you're taking your own route to get there, right? That's what all these games are. But if I already know what the outcome is, and I already know who the players are at the end, then regardless of what path I take, it's artificial. So that's the reason why the season 2, and I'll go back to what you said, Flip, it has to be either a prequel or it has to take place in an alternate universe where it's parallel to the comic book series. That I can get down with that. Now, just like with The Walking Dead, Telltale is telling their own story in the Fable universe. I'm cool with that.
That would actually be pretty cool. I'd like to see that.
Cool. Anything else you want to talk about? Because I think I'm exhausted of The Wolf Among Us. I'm glad it's over. I really am. It's been a long 9 months.
I'm glad it's over too, man. And now we have 2 more episodes of The Walking Dead.
Yeah. Hopefully they pick up the pace on that one.
They will. I think they have to. I still love it.
Clementine used to be an awesome character, and now she's just dull.
What are you talking about?
She doesn't do anything.
She looks and she gives evil looks to people. Come on, man. Did you see that look she gave to the dude?
I don't remember that look.
Like, should have died. Clementine, this is going to get real bloody. You better walk away. No, I'm going to stay here and watch.
Did we talk about the voice actor? Do you remember that? Clementine's voice actor is the same as TJ and Beauty.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because I was, episode 2, I thought we talked about it a little bit. I noticed when TJ had that agony in his voice that it sounded just like Clementine when she's crying.
TJ
and then Beauty when she was in the hotel room with Beast and she's like in that panic mode, you can sense that same agonizing tone in her voice.
Oh, I never caught that. That's awesome.
I checked it out, and it's the same actress.
Very nice. Good ear.
Yep.
Awesome, man.
Yep. All right. Well, I guess that wraps up the Wolf Among Us spoiler cast. So hopefully there's not a season 2. I don't think there should be. There probably will be. If there is, we'll continue doing these shows. I don't know if I'm even going to play it. I think I'm done with Telltale games for a while. Because I don't think I'm not going to play the Game of Thrones one because I don't care at all. And I don't know anything about Game of Thrones. I know you'll be all over it. I might play it just so we can do future spoiler casts. But
I think you should play it.
I guess I will have to. Borderlands I'm not too excited about. So I don't know.
You don't want anything.
Every time I start live streaming these Telltale games, I always get really tired. It feels like I'm bored, like I yawn a lot, and I just...
You know what?
It's strange.
Not an action-packed.
Yeah,
slow.
It's just slow and uneventful, and I don't feel like it's of the same caliber of games that I enjoy.
Okay.
I like my Guacamele's and my Warframes and that super fast-paced action.
And Destiny.
Yeah, and Destiny.
Yeah.
You just wait 7 days.
You know what? Do you need a beta, Alex? Do you need a beta?
Somebody was actually going to offer me a code. They got some extras from a buddy.
Can you believe
works at
that?
a
It's 7 days. I just realized that'll be next Thursday.
Wow, were you going to offer me a code, DMC?
I have the ability to get an extra code because I got the I'm already secured for the beta now, but I also got the Super Ghost I'm Awesome beta code that I can give to you if you need it.
We'll see. I'll let you know. Okay.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna wrap up the show here though, so we'll catch you guys next week. Then after next week, if you guys want to get down in some Destiny, we'll probably all be playing that. So
Yeah.
stay tuned for that.
Yes.
So,
Adios, people.
Have a good night.
Yes. Have a good night.
See you
Goodbye.
next week.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
A little
Goodbye.
hype.
Goodbye.